The Galactic Council chamber was a magnificent sight. Representatives from 300 advanced civilizations sat in floating pods arranged in perfect circles. Each species displayed their unique features proudly. The Zorathians with their crystalline bodies that caught and reflected light. The Velkari whose tentacles moved gracefully as they spoke. The proud Nexari warriors covered in natural armor plating. At the center of it all stood Ambassador Chun, representing Earth and humanity. She looked small compared to the alien giants around her. Many delegates whispered among themselves, pointing at the human with what could only be described as amusement. The humans request full membership in the Galactic Defense Alliance, announced the council speaker, a being made of pure energy who had lived for thousands of years. They claim their military forces can contribute to our collective security. Laughter rippled through the chamber. It wasn't cruel laughter, but the kind reserved for a child who claims they can lift a mountain. Supreme Commander Thrax of the Nexari stood up, his four arms crossed over his massive chest. No offense to the humans, but what can a species that only discovered faster-than-light travel 50 years ago possibly offer us? We have been defending this galaxy for millennia. Ambassador Chen remained calm. Our military has unique capabilities that might surprise you, Commander. Surprise us. The Velkari delegate's tentacles flashed purple with amusement. Your entire fleet consists of merely 200 vessels. The Zorathians alone command 10,000 warships. Numbers aren't everything in warfare, Chen replied. The crystalline Zorathian ambassador chimed like wind through glass. Perhaps not, but experience is. Humans have never faced a real galactic threat. Your species has only fought among yourselves on one small planet. Chen smiled slightly. That's precisely why we might be more prepared than you think. Before anyone could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the chamber. The massive view screen that covered one wall flickered to life, showing a tactical display of the Outer Rim territories. Skarn Raiders, someone shouted. The atmosphere changed instantly. The Skarn were the galaxy's nightmare. Insectoid creatures that consumed entire worlds, leaving nothing but dead rock behind. They appeared without warning, destroyed everything in their path, and vanished before significant resistance could be mounted. 3 hive ships detected in the Kepler sector, reported the Council's tactical officer. They're heading for the colony world of New Thessia. Population, 40 million. Commander Thrax barked orders. Scramble the 7th and 9th fleets immediately. They won't arrive in time, the tactical officer said grimly. The Skarn will reach New Thessia in 6 hours. Our nearest ships are 8 hours away. The chamber erupted in panicked discussions. 40 million lives would be lost. Another world would be stripped bare. Ambassador Chen stepped forward. Earth has a ship in that sector. The noise died down. Everyone turned to look at her. One ship, Thrax scoffed. Against 3 hive ships? Each one carries 1 million Skarn warriors. It's not just any ship, Chen said. It's the UES Defiance, carrying the 32nd Marine Expeditionary Force. How many warriors? Asked the Velkari delegate. 1,000 Marines. The silence that followed was deafening. Then, nervous laughter began again. 1,000 against 3 million? The Zorathian ambassador's chimes sounded almost sad. Ambassador Chun, we appreciate humanity's willingness to help, but this would be suicide. We cannot ask your people to throw their lives away. Chen's expression hardened. You're not asking. We're volunteering. And, Commander, you might want to watch what happens next very carefully. On the view screen, a single human vessel dropped out of hyperspace near New Thessia. The UES Defiance was smaller than even a Zorathian patrol craft. Against the massive Skarn hive ships, it looked like a speck of dust challenging mountains. Open a channel to your ship, Commander Thrax ordered. Tell them to withdraw immediately. We'll honor their bravery, but no need, Chen interrupted. Just watch. Inside the Defiance, alarms rang as Captain Sarah Rodriguez prepared her crew. In the armory, Marines suited up in power armor that looked primitive compared to Nexari battlesuits. Their weapons seemed basic next to Zarathian energy cannons. But in the eyes of every Marine was something the galaxy had never seen before. Something forged in the fires of 10,000 years of human conflict. Something that no amount of advanced technology could replicate. Master Sergeant Jake Wilson checked his rifle one final time. Around him, his squad did the same. They had trained for this moment their entire lives, though they'd never faced an alien threat before. "Listen up, Marines." Wilson's voice boomed through the comlink. "The brass says there's 3 million bugs out there wanting to eat a planet full of civilians. They say we're outnumbered 3,000 to 1. He paused, a grim smile crossing his scarred face. "I say those are the best odds we've had all week." The Marines roared their approval. In the council chamber, the alien delegates watched in stunned silence as the tiny human ship accelerated toward the massive Skarn fleet. They were about to learn why humanity's greatest export had always been warriors. The Skarn Hive ships detected the human vessel immediately. To them, it was nothing more than a minor annoyance. Their bioorganic hulls, each one 5 kilometers long, dwarfed the Defiance. Millions of warrior drones stirred within the ship's bowels, eager to descend upon New Thessia and strip it of all life. The Skarn Queen in the lead ship clicked her mandibles in what passed for amusement. Through the hive mind, she sent a single thought to her millions of children: ignore the insect. Focus on the feast ahead. It was the last mistake she would ever make. Aboard the Defiance, Captain Rodriguez stood on the bridge, her expression carved from stone. Distance to target? 15,000 kilometers, and closing, her tactical officer reported. Deploy the Marines. In the council chamber, confusion rippled through the delegates. The Nexury commander leaned forward. "What are they doing? They're still too far for conventional boarding." Ambassador Chun said nothing, her eyes fixed on the screen. From the Defiance's hull, hundreds of small objects launched into space. Not escape pods, not fighters. Individual Marines in powered armor, rocketing through the void at speeds that should have killed them instantly. Master Sergeant Wilson led the charge, his armor's thrusters burning bright against the darkness. Inside his helmet, tactical data streamed across his vision. 3 million enemies. 1,000 Marines. The odds made him smile. "Remember your history, Marines," he broadcasted. "Thermopylae, Rorke's Drift, the chosen reservoir. Humans have been making impossible stands for thousands of years. Today, we add New Thessia to that list." The Skarn detected the incoming Marines too late. They had never encountered anyone insane enough to launch infantry through open space at capital ships. By the time they began responding, the humans were already making contact with the hull. Marine combat doctrine was simple and brutal. They didn't try to disable the ships or target weak points. They went straight for the heart. Plasma cutters blazed to life as Marines carved entry points directly through the bioarmor. The Skarn's organic hulls, designed to heal from energy weapon damage, had never faced humans with cutting tools designed to slice through starship armor. Wilson was the first through, dropping into a massive corridor filled with warrior drones. The Skarn were each 3 meters tall, covered in natural chitin armor, with 4 arms ending in razor-sharp claws. They had conquered 100 worlds. They had never faced a human Marine. Wilson's rifle barked, each shot finding its mark. The Skarn rushed him in waves, but humans had one advantage no other species in the galaxy possessed. They had evolved on a death world where everything tried to kill them. They had spent their entire history perfecting the art of war against their own kind. The Skarn fought like insects, relying on overwhelming numbers and natural weapons. The Marines fought like humans, with tactics, teamwork, and sheer bloody-minded determination. Squad 2, Breach Point Alpha. Wilson commanded while gunning down another wave of drones. Squad 3, Find Their Queen. Throughout the Hive ship, similar scenes played out. Marines carved through Skarn warriors with methodical efficiency. Where the aliens relied on instinct, humans used strategy. Where the Skarn attacked in swarms, Marines held choke points and created kill zones. In the council chamber, the alien delegates watched in stunned silence. The tactical display showed red dots, Marines, spreading through the hive ships like an infection. "This is impossible," the Valkyrie delegate whispered. "How are they surviving?" Commander Thrax studied the display with professional interest. "Look at their movements. Perfect coordination. Every squad knows exactly where the others are. They're not just fighting, they're hunting." The Zarathian ambassador's crystalline form flickered with distress. "But the brutality of it. They're not trying to disable or capture. They're exterminating." "The Skarn give no quarter," Chin said quietly. "Neither do we." Inside the lead hive ship, Sergeant Wilson and his squad reached the Queen's chamber. The massive creature, 10 meters of armored chitin and rage, turned to face them. Her psychic scream echoed through the hive mind, calling all her warriors to defend her. "Well, she's ugly," Private Martinez commented. "Can the chatter?" Wilson ordered. "Diamond formation. Take her down." The Queen charged, moving with surprising speed for her size. Marine rifles opened up in perfect synchronization, but her armor was thick. She reached Private Johnson, her massive claws sweeping down. Johnson didn't dodge. Instead, he stepped inside the arc, jamming his rifle into a gap in her armor and emptying the magazine. The Queen's scream of pain shook the chamber. "Johnson's down," someone shouted. "I'm good," Johnson grunted, pulling himself up with one arm, the other hanging useless. "Just a scratch." The Marines pressed their attack. Where other species would have retreated against such a monster, humans advanced. Every wound they inflicted made them push harder. Every fallen Marine made the survivors fight with greater fury. Wilson himself delivered the killing blow, shoving a plasma grenade deep into the Queen's mouth. "Welcome to humanity's greeting card," he snarled. The explosion painted the chamber in gore. With the Queen's death, the hive ship began to die. Skarn warriors throughout the vessel collapsed as the hive mind shattered. On the tactical display, one hive ship went dark. Then another. Then the third. The council chamber remained silent for a long moment. Then the Valkyrie delegate spoke, his voice barely a whisper. 1,000 Marines just destroyed 3 hive ships. Killed 3 million Skarn. How? Ambassador Chen finally smiled. "Because you made a fundamental error in your assessment of humanity. You counted our ships. You measured our technology. But you never asked the right question. Which is?" Commander Thrax asked, "How does a species with no natural weapons, no armor, no claws or fangs, become the apex predator of their world?" The answer is simple. We became very, very good at killing things that tried to kill us first. The aftermath of the Battle of New Thessia sent shockwaves through the Galactic Council. News spread faster than light itself. A single human ship with 1,000 Marines had accomplished what entire fleets had failed to do for centuries. They had not just defeated the Skarn, they had slaughtered them. Master Sergeant Wilson sat in the medical bay of the Defiance, watching medics work on his wounded Marines. They had lost 87 soldiers. Less than 10% casualties while facing 3 million enemies. By any military standard, it was a miracle. By human standards, it was Tuesday. "Sergeant Wilson," Captain Rodriguez's voice came through the comm. "The council wants to speak with you." "Tell them I'm busy, Captain." "It wasn't a request, Sergeant." Wilson sighed and stood up. His armor was still covered in Skarn blood and scored with claw marks. He didn't bother to clean it off. Let them see what real combat looked like. The holographic projector created a life-sized image of the council chamber around him. Hundreds of alien faces stared at the battle-scarred human Marine. Where before there had been amusement and condescension, now there was something else. Fear. Commander Thrax was the first to speak. "Sergeant Wilson, what you and your Marines accomplished today defies all known military science. We must understand how you did it." Wilson shrugged. "We killed them before they killed us. Not that complicated. But the odds? Commander, with respect, you keep talking about odds like they matter. You know what matters in a fight? Who wants it more? And nobody wants to live more than a human with their back against the wall." The Valkyrie delegate's tentacles writhed nervously. Your tactics were unlike anything in our databases. The brutality, the aggression. Most species would have tried to disable the ships or force a surrender. Skarn don't surrender, Wilson said flatly. Neither do we. But surely there